What's going on, guys? So just got off a 12-hour shift. I decided I need to stop being lazy and we need to start cranking videos out, editing and doing stuff to the chaser in the car. So we got the Royce headliner Starlights, I believe they're called. These are just a bunch of plastic fibers, and then it has a LED light projector that shines through these lights. So we are going to be installing this in the JZX headliner. I need to fix it anyways because it's sagging a little bit, so we're gonna spray some adhesive and make it. Doesn't seem too hard. We just need to get the headliner out of the JZX and then pretty much poke holes, run each fiber through the headliner, and then I believe people hot glue them on the backside. So that's my plan today. We are gonna install this in the JZX90. I need to figure out the length and all that stuff, basically where I'm gonna mount the actual projector. But enough talking, let's get to ripping this headliner out and installing the Starlights. Getting ready to yank the headliner apart. Little friend up here. Yikes. I think it's just a stink bug. Well, stink bug's gone. Scraped him off the old pizza box. We are gonna disconnect the batteries because I don't want the door light to be staying on when I have the doors open for a good little bit. I have no clue how to remove this headliner. I've never taken one out of a JZX90, so we're just gonna start yanking stuff down. Here's the light, which is barely in there. Anyways, I'm not gonna film this. I'll show you guys how I did it once I get it out. Like I said, I don't know how, so pretty much just gonna start yanking apart what I see. Headliners are pretty standard for the most part across the board for cars. All right, so the light's out. Rear mirror's off and the little sun visor's off. Look how gross that is. So first thing I noticed, I almost broke it. For this little guy, there is a screw right here. You don't just force it out. And then for this, all you do is pop these cover plates off. Same thing with this, pop it off the flathead, and there's 2 screws behind it. So 2 screws here, 1 screw here, 2 screws here for each side. So, and then we'll take the oh shit handles off. And then, like I said, we'll start taking off this trim here and pull these ABC pillars back and hopefully be able to slide it out. So, another oh shit handle. Pop these covers off too. Get 2 screws behind there. Cool. All right, guys, we're getting a little crazy and ripping everything apart, but to me, this is the most important part of the car, the interior. Obviously, this is where you're gonna be at most of the time, as long as you're not wrenching on it. So, took the center console off. You can see this thing is gross and disgusting. I took A-pillars off. We're gonna take off these pillars as well as the rear. And honestly, I'm thinking about just doing this as well, reupholstering the headliner and making them all the same color. I think future plans for right now is just a normal suede black everything. So we're gonna go ahead and take off everything that needs to be reupholstered. And I'm either gonna order fabric or there's a local shop that I'm going to contact and see how much they charge. If it's not too expensive, I'll just go ahead and bring them and let a professional do it because I have never reupholstered stuff and I don't know how. Well, guys, the headliner is officially out, kind of. Now it's out. That's what it looks like. So, there's a bunch of clips holding it. Yeah, so now I just gotta fish this thing out of here. Pretty easy. Just gotta pick a door. Alrighty, guys, so headliner is out. So, the only things that I had to remove, well, I don't know if I had to. Anyways, I took all the door trim pieces off. Here, undid the seatbelt on both sides. Obviously, the oh shit handle, the visor, the rear mirror, visor. Same over here. No oh shit handle there, oh shit handle there. And then all these panels just pop right on off. They have these little, hey, right there, these little clips in them. They just literally, you grab it and just pop it up. They go in there like that. and they pop out. So pretty easy. One thing I did have to do to get it out was take the center console out. I took that out. I basically angled it like this, and I yanked it out that door. So he kind of had to bend it a smidge, but it comes out pretty easy. So overall, definitely not a hard process. Probably took me an hour. Oh yeah, I have to take this light out too. There's 3 screws holding that into as well. So once that comes down, then it'll fall, literally fall, and then there's clips here, you just pull it down. Well guys, I just got back with the local upholstery shop. I messaged my buddy Andy, who is a local here, and he said not to go anywhere local because there's nowhere that does, there's no shops that do quality work, and he said everywhere around here is super expensive. Well, I still decided to message company anyways, and they wanted 450 euros, which is about 550 bucks USD. I don't know how much upholstery costs, but I don't know. That is really steep to me. I mean, I've seen some videos. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I don't know. 550 bucks to reupholster a headliner and a couple pillars is absolutely outrageous to me. All right, guys. So it's days later. We did the fabric dye, and it didn't come out as good as I wanted. I ended up buying these little textile fabric spray paint, basically in a can. So I'm gonna go out and we're gonna spray this, and hopefully get this headliner darkened up a little bit. It's good, but it's not as good as I would like it to be. You can see there's like tiger stripes in some spots, and it's just not all uniform. So we're about to spray this and hopefully get it to be a little more black and uniform. So here's what I did. I didn't even measure it out. I just made 6 boxes, and 6 divided by 350 is roughly 58 per box. So we're just gonna go ahead and randomly do 58. We're not gonna do anything like specific. Like you can see, I'm just randomly drilling and sending it. So 58 per box, and then we'll glue them all down. All right, guys, so we have the headliner all laid out. I just started basically pulling it. I taped off where I'm going to need, or how much I'm going to need right here. So I'm going to leave a little extra slack down here. And as you can see, I already started putting some through. So we're going to pull them tight on the bottom side like this. You can see them all hanging down, and then we'll cut them once they're all glued. But basically, I'm going to put a glue spot here, and then we'll pull them flush so there's not a ton of slack in here, and then we'll just basically go through and put a bunch of tabs of glue. Like I said, maybe I might epoxy like right here once it's in there. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna probably be pretty time consuming, so I'll throw a time lapse on, and I'm gonna get this thing all wired up and good to go with the lights. All right, guys, so this is where we are. Basically, I went ahead and I taped each and every one once they were pushed through. I initially tried hot glue, as you can see on the front, and that didn't work because it was basically melting the little plastic wires or cables. So tried super glue, and then that made them brittle, so when you put them in and bend them, they would snap, so that didn't work. And then also I was doing it from front to back, which made it super hard because I basically had to find each hole through this mess of cables. So I ended up ripping them out. I got to re-drill all those front holes, but no big deal. We ended up starting basically from this corner and worked our way so we weren't crossing over each individual cable. And then, as you can see, we just taped them I probably should have watched a video on it before, but I didn't. So a few mistakes. Hopefully you guys can learn from them if you attempt this. Now I'm about to stand this thing up, and I'm about to start cutting each fiber cable, and then we will hook the light up and see how it looks in the dark. All right, guys, so this is it, all finished and installed. Well, not installed, but lights are all taped down. Everything is good to go on the back. I just have it rigged up to a battery right now. Everything is good to go. We're gonna go ahead and start installing the headliner and the chaser. This came out honestly really good. See how they all sparkle. And then of course, there's cut out in there for the two lights. So that's why there's a hole there. But yeah, came out really good. You could change whatever color you want. So, and then it has like flash, stuff like that. So looks like it's super bright up there, but it's just because of the angle. It's actually all the same brightness. So yeah, this came out really nice. I'm actually really impressed and happy with it. So we're about to go ahead and start throwing this in the chaser since it's somewhat of a nice day out. All right, guys, so here is the headliner installed. You could it's really kind of hard to tell that they're even there. I mean, you could somewhat see them, some of the ones that poke out a little further like this one, but from a distance, you would never know they're there. So we may go ahead and clip these shorter in the future. I'll have to wait and see how it looks in the nighttime. But for now, they're good where they are. We got the light installed, holding it up, clips in the back. And then we need to go ahead and put all the oh shit handles back on, and the head, the sun visors, we need to put those on as well. But we are still dyeing those, so I need to dye that one side, I need to do the other. So those will wait, but for now we'll get at least all of this stuff on. In the next video, I'm gonna be painting these black as well as flocking all of the pillars. I just got the flocking kit in now, so I will get started on that probably tomorrow. All right, guys, so check it out. There's in the rearview mirror. This is how the Rolls Royce lights came out. They came out really good. I figured I'd show you guys in the dark so you could actually see them. It's kind of hard to see during the day. They're pretty dim, but came out really good. The one thing that I wish I would have done differently is that you could see, I can't see my finger, but right here in this spot, there's a few, you can see they're really dim. Basically what happened in those dead spots is I went ahead and I taped everything beforehand. I taped down each strand and I clipped them before. So when I did that, these front ones kind of got pulled a little bit, and I think they pulled out of the back projector there. So I would leave these things dangling, and then I would trim them in the car. Is what I did is I went ahead and I put a piece of duct tape on each individual light, so they don't push or pull at all because they're taped down. So honestly, going back, this is my first time, but if I would when I do them again on another car, I would just let them completely dangle, fully install the headliner, and then trim them in the car, because then they'll be in their spot. They're not gonna move at all, obviously, the headliner pushed up. So that's one thing I'd do differently, but I mean, they still came out really good. You can change the colors and everything like that. So you could change them whatever color you want. There's green, orange, red. It has like different fade modes, so you could fade them and stuff like that. Flashing, all that crazy stuff. So yeah, they're pretty good. This is kind of annoying, or would be annoying, I think, when you're driving, but yeah, it's like a disco in here.